Hello, my name's Scott Perry. I'm a professional magician and this is a magic review. It's a kind of magic. In today's review, we're looking at Inferno by Joshua J. The TLDR on this is it's a fantastic trick. If you're looking for a new product, a new card trick that you don't actually need a deck of cards to perform, that's self-contained, that's instant reset, that ticks most of the boxes of a good trick, then Inferno is a great choice. So the TLDR it's really good. I highly recommend it. It's a card trick that doesn't require a deck of cards and you can carry it with you pretty much all the time. You're ready to go anywhere, anytime, any place. So that's the TLDR. Let's get into a few more details. What is it? What is Inferno? Inferno is an effect where you take a matchbox, you can give it to the spectator to hold onto if you wish, but it's essentially they think of a card and you open up the matchbox, there'll be one card paper clipped in here and you take it out and that is the one thought of card. So that's essentially the effect. You're revealing a seemingly freely thought of card, and that's very direct. It's a no-nonsense kind of magic trick, and it makes sense. So that's what Inferno is. The effect is you revealing a thought of card through a interesting story. But what do you get with Inferno? So inside the package you receive two matchboxes. This one I've changed a little bit. So they both come completely flat packed with the peelable double-sided stick tape seals on them. So you can put them together yourself, but they come flat packed in this little package. I am a little bit disappointed by these, but we'll come on to that in the final thoughts. You can use any matchboxes, but yes, a little bit disappointed with these ones that you get with it now, but you do receive two. They're flat packed. You also receive an envelope with a handful of gimmicks like this. So these are specially printed cards on a very thin material. As you can see, it looks like they are charred. And that goes into the presentation of Inferno, which is great. So that's what you receive, several of these. They're printed on, as you can see, Phoenix backs. I don't see that as being an issue, and I am one of those people who would prefer all of my gaffs to be in bicycle rider back. So the fact that I am one of those people and I don't mind this, I think says a lot. So yes, it's one of those things where you basically get everything you need in the package. They even include a couple of paper clips, which again, I'll touch on these in the final thoughts as well, because there are some things that you may not want to use these for. But they basically include everything you need. Two flat pack matchboxes, some gimmicks, and I'm not showing you all of the gimmicks because of how some of them are made. But they all look like this. They are all extremely thin. I don't know what material they're made out of, but they're probably going to last you a very long time, years and years and years. I wouldn't like to say forever, because it is some kind of paper or some kind of card or something like that. So probably eventually it'll wear out, but it's going to last a really long time. They're really robust. You receive the paper clips, and then there is a link to 30 minutes of instructions from Joshua himself where he takes you through everything. There is a reason why Joshua J is one of the great minds in magic, and not just because of what he creates and his thought process, but also because he's a true worker. He absolutely works the hell out of magic tricks before releasing them, and this, you can tell he has done that as well. So that's what you receive with Inferno. How easy is it? Fairly easy. As I say, the matchbox you carry on you, you're ready to go anytime, any place, anywhere. There's some interesting and specific dialogue that you need to use in the pattern presentation, but you can change that for your own presentation if you wish. But in terms of how easy it is, the two things you have to consider is, one thing is that you have to guide the spectator down a not a specific route, but you have to guide them a little bit with equivoque, and there's depending on which routine you use, because you can perform a routine where there's almost no sleight of hand whatsoever, but then you can perform another routine where there's a little bit of sleight of hand involved. I would say it's very easy to do. but I've been doing sleight of hand magic for 2 decades, so easy for me might not be easy for you. But I do think, looking back as a beginner magician, I think I could have performed this as a child. It's relatively easy to do. The sleights aren't very technical. If you are familiar with Jay Sankey's effect, paper clipped, the sleights that you have to do are similar to that. So yes, the magic trick Inferno as a whole is a fairly easy trick to get to grips with. Reset time is very fast indeed. All you have to do is, once you reveal the card and open it up and everyone's screaming because that's the card they thought of, all you need to do is fold it back up, pop it back in the matchbox, and you're good to go again. So the reset time is, maybe 5-10 seconds. Angles are just as good as the reset time. So essentially what you're doing here is you will have your paper clipped card and you will take the paper clip off. You'll put the paper clip in your pocket or somewhere out of sight, and then you will open the card up like this. So you're covered from most of your angles. If there happens to be anyone really far behind you or to your sides, you can always just bring the sleight of hand part in like this towards your chest. So the angles are very good on Inferno. Pocket space is one of my favorite things about this, because I do believe this effect plays really big. I think that for the sake of a matchbox in your pocket, you have such an incredible routine, such a hard-hitting routine, and something that in the spectator's eyes is truly impossible. They've merely narrowed down thoughts on one card, and then they're thinking of just one card, and it's inside the matchbox, that one card. And then also the routining that Joshua gives you is very interesting. It's very nice. It's a nice idea, and the presentation is entertaining, which is what we're supposed to be doing for spectators after all, entertaining them. So pocket space is very good in that all you need is a matchbox. Stick that in your pocket, in your top pocket, in your jeans pocket, wherever, whichever pocket you want to, in your wallet even, stick it wherever you want to. My final thoughts on Inferno, there's a couple of things. So as I said in the beginning, I don't like these new matchboxes that they provide you with. One of the reasons why I purchased Inferno was because a friend of mine, Michael, he showed it to me and I thought it was so good. And he showed it to me recently, maybe a month ago. And I just thought it was absolutely brilliant. And one of the things that I did think that was great was that the matchbox that came with it was very, very thin. So it was wider than these and thinner. So you can see this matchbox, I've actually cut it up and glued it back together to make it a little bit thinner, so that it's easier to carry around, and there's less chance of the matchbox getting squeezed and crumpled in my pockets or in transit or something like that. But I still don't think this is ideal, because it's not really wide enough to hold the card. It just about does the trick, because I've worked it in a little bit now after cutting and gluing. But I don't particularly like the matchboxes, basically, and the original matchboxes that they provided were, in my opinion, a lot better. Just a small thing that I was introduced to this effect with the older matchboxes, the matchboxes that actually say Inferno on them. So yes, a small thing, but nothing that means that you can't go out and buy your own matchboxes. You can even print your own matchboxes. You can have company branding on them. So not a huge deal. The trick is still an amazing magic trick. And then also the paper clips they provide you with are just regular silver colored paper clips, and they're quite sharp on the edges. So when you put the paper clip on like this, if you pull the paper clip off, sometimes it scrapes up the back of the card and it scratches as it pulls up. So I would recommend that you change your paper clips. And in fact, in the instructions, Joshua does say that perhaps different colored paper clips would be better anyway. He recommends a brighter color so that it pops against the red of the cards. I think that's all I have to say about Inferno. It's a wonderful magic trick. It's really hard hitting. It sits in your pocket and is ready to go at a moment's notice. It's hard hitting, very quick reset. What more could you ask from a magic trick? It costs roughly 25, 26 pounds or like 28 US dollars. And yeah, if you like what you see and you like what you hear, go to Vanishing Ink and purchase a copy of Inferno. You will not be disappointed. It's a very clever, very hard-hitting magic trick. That's it for today. If you have any questions, leave it in a comment below. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not. If you want to subscribe, if you want more reviews like this to try and help you to make better, informed purchases in your magic. I'll see you in the next review.